members or the old members that have found their way back to the community. I need you just as much as you need me in a very exciting, and I was going to do an update, but I decided to do it in a live setting just in case anybody had any questions or they wanted to talk in real time. So I decided to do this as a live update. So I thank everybody for tuning in. Unfortunately, we've been speculating about that 38-cent level, and now it appears that we're at least going to touch that level, if not worse, because we've broken right now, and this is a trend that goes far back to 2018, and the uptrend started in 2020, and we're below that right now as XRP approaches 10% down on the day. I like to be present when we find ourselves in these moments, so we're going to go over what's going on not just with XRP but across the market, and we're going to go over the fact that XRP is reaching the most oversold levels that it's been at since around 2020. So it's becoming a historical drop here for XRP, and the levels we're at is absolutely phenomenal. Me is the future, says Tom calls for 38 cents. Guess what? 38 cents came. Did you take advantage of it? I mean, it's unbelievable that we hit these levels today, but unfortunately, this was the possibility if we were to break down, and now we're sub 40 cents. It is game on. It is game on at 40 cents, and we're going to go through some compelling facts here of how oversold we are, and I like to be here in real time. Win, lose, or draw, at least we're here together. So make sure to hit that like button so YouTube recommends this live, because it is very, very important. I think it's very important for us to be together at these times. The market is absolutely going into capitulation mode right now. The alts are going into capitulation mode. Oil goes down almost 10%. We've got IOTA down over 10%. XRP's down over 9.5%. We've got XLM down 9.6%. DGB down 11.6%. Is it any coincidence that this is happening on 4th of July when many in the U.S., especially on the East and West Coast now, are watching fireworks? Is it not a coincidence here that this happens? But it's very exciting to me when this happens, because this is where true money is made. This is where absolute true money is made. And the other reason why it's so important to be around is we talked about the XRP Bitcoin pairing reversing. So as easy as it was seemingly going up is as quickly as it falls when it comes down. That's why we've got to be on top of this day by day. And like I said, I was going to do this as a normal update, but I decided to do it for a live. I already did one live today, so who's ever here will at least be able to talk here. So make sure to hit that like button so YouTube recommends this content, recommends this live, and I will catch you on the other side of the intro. The beauty is you've got about 30 seconds, so make sure to hit that like button. Welcome in, Kryptonian, and I'll see you on the other side of the intro. Good evening, 11:16 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Thursday, July 4th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. Oh, I'm excited, ladies and gentlemen. Why am I excited? Because there's a lot of things that I would not buy until we came down to certain levels, and oh, baby, are we getting there. Oh, Lord have mercy, do I see some pricing. Trading with J-Ride with the $10 donation, along with being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moonbat, says respect for going live. I know it's hard to find a lot of us going live, but I thrive in these moments. Oh, do I get excited. I haven't been this happy in a long time, and I apologize for anybody who's in positions, because I own XRP. Yeah, some of them were sold off because I had, you know, double over what I wanted, because I use them for when we have big rallies and stuff. But 10,000 XRP are sitting here. I got them at about 34 cents. So we're back within range, ladies and gentlemen. We're back. And we're back. You know why I'm so excited? Because we're going to be able to get back to FOMO Friday and Winning Wednesdays here once again, finally. And we had a beautiful 2024. And if some of you were on the same track as I am, you know, you were selling out when you had to sell out, and you were buying in 23, and then in 24 use it as selling opportunities for most things. Kryptonian says Tom for president. I appreciate that. Now, another thing, there's so much traffic because where I live in Clawson, they do the 4th of July fireworks. And it's all, you know, private people donating to put it on every single year. And the traffic jam just leaving here is fucking phenomenal. Anyhow, so XRP's at 39.5 cents. So for everybody who's here, so this is my line of thinking. XRP is so cheap. It's so cheap right now. 39.5 cents. 39.5 cents. And ooh, we're below. This is the important thing, everybody. Enjoy your tea, Julie. This is the no. We're gonna get another rally, I think. The problem is here is that downtrending resistance started in the resistance started in January of 2018 when we had all-time highs. This uptrend, and let's just make sure that it's dead accurate right now. This uptrend started. Yeah, see, we are falling apart. We are falling apart right now. There is no, because we hit it here. We are, guys, we have fallen below this in a way. And we did hit 38 cents, which is something we've speculated for a long time. But this uptrend has come up farther than that as well. So my speculation, if you're new, is I would say it came down, but maybe it wicks down to 38 cents. And that's where the 38 comes from. But we need to get back above and not get a rejection. So I think right now, being below 40 cents, it's very interesting. And it's a quick momentary decision of what you do. And my decision, what I'm thinking in this very moment, look how oversold we are in the 30-minute. Look how oversold we are in the 15-minute. Look how, I mean, look at this. Even the 5-minute is out of control. Although that looks like a bearish 5. Ooh, boy. Interesting. If that, oh boy. If that, really? That almost looks like a bearish candle there, but maybe not. The best case scenario is for us right now, if we're looking to get into like a quick swing here while we're live, for this to break down here, and it broke up because it's so oversold, but look at that. This is what this is what I'm trying to say. If it's going to back test here, it's going to do it very quickly. So we can put a support structure now at 38.18, but it's going to have to be quick. You know, it's going to have to be quick. We're very oversold. That's 3.9%. See, this is already moving at a very quick pace right now. But these are where it's like, okay, we've fallen down. So adding to the position here is absolutely not a bad idea. Starting a position here, if you've not entered a position for XRP, look at this in perspective. 45 is so oversold. 2 hourly's off the charts oversold. 4 hourly, honestly, I don't remember the last time I've seen the daily chart this oversold. I don't remember the last time I've seen it this oversold. I'm being serious right now. I can't remember the last time. And in the daily right now, you would have to go all the way back just to see it in the daily at any length like this, all the way back to 2022. In the 4 hourly, where it's at right now, I mean, it's very hard to get pressed here. So even to go back here in the 4 hourly, you're talking about 23. The weekly is starting to push up. And if it catches up here, again, it's got room to where we're starting to get into these massively oversold areas. The monthly is the most oversold, that at least on this chart. But if we go to another chart, I mean, if you want to be honest, we're almost the most oversold it's ever been. It's the most oversold from a monthly perspective since going back into like man, we're getting into some pretty bearish territory, like lows of the lows here when it comes to how oversold. Like it's startling when I see some of these, like in the 3 hour. I mean, look how oversold we are. The last time it was this oversold was back in April of this year in the 3 hourly. And let's just look what it did over time. See what it did. And these are the times, like, this is when the real money's made. Some might be looking at this as lost money, but when you're basically liquidated out of the market, this is when your real money is made. Because now you can find positions when everybody's like, oh my God, I'm not entering this shit. So the last time it was this oversold, we were sitting at 43.8 cents. We had a bounce off of 43.8 cents, and we came up 32.4%, even though we were bearish. So you're looking for these rebounds. What I'm looking for now is, you see how we broke out of this cup and handle, or broke down? That's such a wide pattern that it was at, what was it at? 38.2. Now it's at 39.7. I would be looking for, and it's almost coming up there now, a retest up here. So you might get a 6.5% back test here at 424. But the problem is, you might not even have to go to that area, because we've got this, and we would have a first chance at resistance at 40.3. That's what I was going to want to try. That's what you'd want to try to play, that back test. But man, it might not be done dumping here. What is the accumulation opportunity? If you blink, you'll miss it. Well, I mean, blink is, it's your perspective. Some people think a blink of the eye is 30 seconds a day. When I say a blink of the eye, or what I think of in a blink of the eye, I think going in 24s, when you start dumping like this, you want to be situated, especially before, and I always say it and people laugh at me, but you've got to have it all worked out before you start the next bull rally. We were in a bear market rally, nothing more, nothing less. But don't think that this is just going to end now for crypto. This is happening for a reason. This is the flush. You're getting the actual flush right now. This is the big time flush. And if you think that this is going to continue, it will to an extent, because now panic sets in. And when panic sets in, you start to get to the lows that you want. And at some point, there'll be a massive bounce, but most people are going to lose all their money, because they try to, if I'm going to be honest, most people try to futures trade, and then they just lose all their money on drops or big rises. The spot traders who know what they're doing, the supply for XRP is getting eaten alive right now. The whales, and it's being eaten alive. Not a lot of people talk about it, but it's absolutely being eaten alive. It's one thing to buy when you dip, but there's a reason why I talk about certain areas. Sub 40 cents is when I truly look at it and I'm like, I can start buying XRP to an extent. But like 34 is where I liked it. But sub 40 cents, I have no problem starting to add to if I was going to add to it. You know, once it gets under 40 cents, it starts to become an extreme buying opportunity. But then you've got to have faith, because listen, let's say you buy it at 39.8. Well, if it goes down to 35, are you selling out? Or are you adding more at 35? And if it goes to 30, are you selling out what you bought at 35 and 39? And then if it goes to 24, are you selling out what you bought at 30, 35, and 39? And then if it goes to 18, are you selling out what you bought at 24, 30, 35, and 39? Because in all reality, you're happy the lower it gets, because you're buying it anyhow. And then when it return rallies, let's just say when it goes to $1, well, you bought some at 19, you bought some at 26, 35, 39, 30. Do you care when it goes to $1? No. It's all about if you, but you have to believe in it. The one thing that scares a lot of people with XRP, and that's the truth, is that Ripple dumps so much. And remember, this was always an issue here. We've been talking for the last couple of weeks, especially since early last week, when we got the filing that proved that the U.S. government was going to dump. It was about 3,940 Bitcoin they got the clearance to put on the exchange. The U.S. government, we also found out, owns 212,000 Bitcoin. That's not good. As we also know, Mt. Gox owns 155,000, and they got clearance to start selling 9 billion worth this week. So once you start to figure out what's going on, we got problems. Yes, 26 cents is absolutely, I'm glad some of you remembered some of the lower targets, the 28. 26 cents is if this trend line failed, that was going back about 80 months. And unfortunately for everybody, if you're not looking for a drop, because I'm telling you right now, like I told Julie, I've not salivated like this since 2022. There was a lot of money made, but for me personally and anybody who was following from 22 to 24. But then when I sold out, I got a lot of backlash. Obviously, XRP, I always keep the 10,000 unless I can build more. That sits in the ledger. I don't really give a rat's ass what the price does. And I started that at 34. But I also had up to 22,000 that I've also dumped out 12,000 because we had a 100% rally. We've had up and downs left and right. Actually, it was more than 100. From where we bought it, it was a couple hundred. But you get the picture. So now, I haven't had this opportunity in a long time. My heart broke when I sold DGB after buying it at 0.005 and 0.007. And then I sold it because it went up to 2 cents. I think I sold it at like 1.6 or 1.7. But once I seen the writing on the wall, just like HBAR having to resell it and not buying it back, there's a reason why I haven't. I've seen so many people say, oh, it's time. And I like watching the people who say that, because then I'm like, well, what am I seeing in my analysis? In my analysis, from what I'm seeing, when we talked earlier, some of you can go back just to DGB. And I was talking about how the fact that the real buy to me for DGB would seem to appear at 583, 00583. And that was just where the technical move seemed like it was going to meet there. And that's where I was interested in buying DGB. And now it's going to it's going to nail me to the wall. Look how oversold DGB, like, and everything looks brutal. But when you start to see the actual pattern, these are going to be downward channels that they're going to end up, or falling wedges. These could turn into very bullish patterns on the reversal. It's just they're crushing everybody. The ones who are in this and who, it's like I always say, people are telling you to buy the dip, but you can't buy the dip until you get to the dip. They got 50 cents. I told everybody, it's not that I'm opposed to it, because 2 for $1, I'd never tell anybody not to buy, but I'm not interested there. Sub 40 cents, and when my eyes start to open wide. When we get sub 30, I start to bug out. If it got sub 20, and my mind would explode. I would literally explode into a million pieces, and I would use those pieces to buy a bunch of XRP, and the lower it got, the more I would buy. And all it would take is that one reverse rally, or I'm going broke, and I'm going to try. I'm going broke trying, damn it. Because I believe in something much greater than a lot of people do with Ripple or with XRP. And I think at some point the appreciation has to happen. But this is nasty. This is brutal. And please make sure to hit the like button. 140 people watching, only 49 people hit the like button. If you hit that like button, it would truly help. If you appreciate my content, appreciate the fact that I'm on for a second time on the 4th of July, or just appreciate the fact that I show up when everything's getting crushed, hit that like button for, if nothing else, my dignity, my self-respect, my self-worth. I would just appreciate you hitting that like button. I would greatly appreciate it. It doesn't cost anything, but it certainly helps me push my content. And now XRP's making that first rally back that we talked about in the start. And right now it's going to try to see, are we going to get rejected by this 40.308 cents? Or oversold is perception, not necessarily. No, it's not perception. That's actually a real thing. And when you go by trading bots, if the trading bots are, it's a real thing based on the indicators, or based on the relative strength of an asset. But, I mean, that's one's opinion, I suppose. The brisket was great. CJ2 Pilot, thank you. It actually came out very well. It was like if you ever went to a fancy barbecue and you got like pulled pork or pulled brisket, because we pulled it apart and it was shreddable, and it was just, it cooked for about 9 hours at about 230 degrees. It was fantastic. I cannot complain. And it all got eaten too, all 6.6 pounds. So, thank you for the question, but it was fantastic. It's the first time I've ever made it. It's a bit expensive at $50 for the brisket, but, you know, I thought it was worth it because we had some people over and figured it was, I just had to pay my taxes, which were $4,590 for my summer taxes. So I said, what the hell is a $50 brisket after just paying that? I'm going to reward us. So anyhow, the 4 hourly, we came down here, and it's going to be, is this a wick? Is this just a wick to 38, and then it comes back and holds that 40.3 cent mark? Or do we get rejected here? If we get rejected by 40.3, I'm being serious here. I'm being dead serious here. If we fall back that, and you can see how important this is with the market cap, because the fact we came back, that is a very big, and when I say big, I put that blue line there for a reason. If we come below that, it opens the door And now the or the rising channel, which are traditionally bearish reversals at the top, that can give way and we'll have to pattern reset. If that happens, the XRP market cap would be down at about 16.5. If it's at 16.5, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm going to speak in a realistic terms because I get excited when we start doing this. See, I can speak positively, I can speak bullish, but I always give the negative connotation side, which people get pissed off about, and I don't understand why. But I like to speak about the downside because when it happens, you got to be prepared. XRP, imagine, it breaks this and we do have that 35% drop that happens between 40.5 roughly and down to about 26 cent area. Imagine we get that 35% drop now, and now you're sitting at 25. I'm going to jump off a cliff, and I'll be so happy. In a good way. I'll have a parachute. And some people will be like, why the hell are you so happy? That's the reality. I'm going to come in a minute. Can't stay out here too much longer. It's 11:30. But yeah. So XRP, the realistic terms are, if it were to break this, and let's just say we get rejected at, let's just call it, to be safe, let's just call this 40.4 cents. If we get rejected there, the next real support is all the way down, and I understand we can go through different areas, but I'm talking about the uptrend of the current formations, of the all-time formations. So now if this breaks and we're all of a sudden that 2018 pattern breaks, now I'm going back to 2015. If 2015 breaks, we got some fucking problems. We got some problems. Or 20, oh man. Yeah, we would have some problems. The fact that this cup and handle broke so easily, you better hope it's just if we don't want this to go down any farther, that it's just a wick down. Or, you know, we could have like it's so funny when you look at this, but we have kind of created a little bit of a downward pattern here that's starting to become obvious. Look at this. Does everybody see that? That's starting to form. So if you look at the downtrending resistance from the top, what if we just started a third hit of a kind of like a falling channel that started here in its own right, so to say. But that's what's starting. If you break below all of this and you can't get back above there, this is basically now the expansion zone. If you break it across this extension, you're fucked. No, nobody said it's just XRP. The whole market's like that, but, you know, I'm the XRP future millionaire, so I focus on XRP. I need to know where the levels are. Just because the whole market is dropping, if I see Bitcoin's down 17% in the last few days, I don't know the levels for XRP. How do I know where I'm expected it for it to drop? So I need to see it at a, you know, in-depth level. I know the market dropped. I'm well aware. I cover many different cryptos. And when I don't cover them, I watch it. And I've got all these levels that are starting to become the best buy zones. And like, another one we talked about was H-bar. And we talked about the technical target. And look at that. This is just from this afternoon. The technical target out of this broken structure was coming down to 586 or 5907. So, I mean, it came all the way down to those levels. Too bad I was starting this live when they finally hit the bottom of it. I was hoping it would continue falling for just a second. But I just wanted to do a quick, like, that was a nice firework. A quick update here. Because I did a live earlier and, you know, obviously I'm a little tired now, but a little bit with XRP there. So just be aware, if we get rejected at 40.4 cents, we could very much drop down a little bit more. And then, you know, if 40.4 cents gets rejected, that could open up the door. If 38 cents is slayed, then you got about 34 cents. You've got that 30 cent area, and then it's right to 26. But in terms of the trend lines, after 40.5 now, in today's terms are 40.4 cents, you would really only have underneath that is about 26 cents. If you look at just trend line to trend line and you take out all the minute and all of the short-term movements that happened in between the drops or the rises. So it could be a big problem here. Bitcoin's down 1,600 points, 2.84% in the last 3.5 hours to 55,423. And like from a technical perspective, if you look at it from an indicator, massively oversold. But from a technical perspective, we broke back into the pennant flag breakout and invalidated that inverse head and shoulders. I hate to break it to everybody, that is off the table because we have a lower low here. So I mean, that inverse right arm, unless it has some kind of fucking staying power here, and this is a big setup, it went from an inverse head and shoulder likely to more of that M-topping reversal, and that can be confirmed with a breakdown and a breach and a rejection at right around 52,670 area. So we're in dire straits here, ladies and gentlemen. Make no mistake about it. We are in dire straits. We are absolutely in dire straits. But you know what happens in dire straits when everybody becomes scared and panicked? The real money's made. The absolutely real money's made. And that's because when you buy in bear markets, when a lot of people are dumping out, when you find the price and you continue to buy back through the drops, and like I always say, you can't buy it at 90 cents and say, well, I'm going to just keep buying it to the bottom because you're going to run out of money. If you buy it at 35 cents or 38 cents and that's your buy-in spot, and then you buy it down, well, you can do it in concerted effort. But, like, it's unbelievable. Tom will chase this all the way to zero. I'm not chasing it to zero. I have certain standards. But yeah, I'll be covering it until it goes. If it were to go bankrupt and it did go to zero, well, so be it. Some nice fireworks here. That was nice. That was nice. I figured I'd let everybody see that. But yeah. So if you're looking to trade XRP, especially in the USA or around the world, for the lowest spot and leverage trading fees, if you're trying to buy some of this, look in the video description below for BITUNIX. If you want to try to copy trade with me on HOTCOIN, take a look in the video description below as well, or pin comments. And then if you appreciate my work, the fact that I show up, or you just like what I do, make sure you consider subscribing to the channel and joining the over 22,100 subscribers. Maybe consider joining Tom's Army one of these months. Get that emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens, or can send one YouTube super chat per month as a way to pay it forward. It's a great gesture. And I truly love being here, so I can take the butt of jokes. I know a lot of people make fun of me because I like XRP, and I appreciate it. You know, I embrace it. And I've not lost money on XRP. I've made a lot of money on XRP, so I can take the jokes. The more jokes I get made and the farther XRP falls, the more money we're going to make. Ooh, buddy. And if we get the opportunity, we're getting into some... This is where, when it's from a massively oversold perspective, if you get another 10 to 15% from here and you start capitulating in this drop and people really start to fucking panic, we're going to open up alt season at some point. In Bitcoin, it's going to free flow out of there. Free flow. 20K is a little rough right now, but really got to be prepared for 52, 48. And then if it breaks 48, I mean, you're talking 42. You could get back to that 35, 36. I mean, it's hardcore. But remember, before the Bitcoin ETF came on, remember the whole market crashed. Now what's about to happen? The Ethereum ETF's about to go online. So now the whole market's crashing. This happened with Bitcoin. This is the exact same thing that happened. Now we have to start to pay attention to where the bottom's at. Right now, XRP failed to get over 40.4 in that first attempt. And like, if I was going to attempt anything, I would have to wait for some kind of bottom here. And like, this is trying to come up a little bit. But at some point, if it doesn't rally all the way up here and it just starts to come back down, maybe it'll make a second bottom at like 37.3. But look at that volume. It's pathetic. For having such a big drop, look how brutally low that volume is in the 5 minute. Even on these drops in the 5, this is brutal. In the 5 minute, you had 2.9 million, 2.4 million on the two big drops. On the bounce back, 512,000, 290, 320. This is brutal. That's not going to get the job done. That's not going to get the job done. But, all right, everybody, I'm going to go. I got to take a shower and stuff. It's been a long day. I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a blessed evening. I can't believe there was 145 people. Well, until I opened my big mouth and said I was leaving. But it was great to see so many of you show up. And have a blessed evening, everybody. And I hope you had a happy 4th of July. It's an honor and a privilege. And I'll see you in the early AM.